So the case for Bill Cosby was declared a mistrial. The jury found themselves hopelessly deadlocked, and the judge then is to determine if there will be another trial. Now, I've been to law school. I'm not a lawyer. I think the entire thing was illegal. I think the DA should be put in jail. If nothing more, well, at the very least, he should be completely stripped of his office because he's completely unethical. He ran on a platform that he would try Bill Cosby. What kind of craziness is that? He's going to bring Bill Cosby to trial. And then to add insult to injury, because if that weren't unethical enough, they opened a sealed case. A judge opened a sealed case, completely sealed case. You don't open a sealed case. That's the point of sealing the case. If that were the case, then what's the use of sealing it, right? Now, Dick Gregory goes on into the conspiracy theory that it was about him purchasing NBC, but I have an alternative explanation which I'd like to explore today. Yes, they murdered his son. He was going to purchase NBC, but he had already started amassing an empire of communication empire. He owns several radio stations, TV stations, which I thought about actually buying a radio station. They're not that expensive. Of course, you need to promote it like crazy because radio is just like, oh my god, uh, obsolete technology, and I don't think any millennials do. Any of you millennials actually listen to a radio station? Better yet, do any of you millennials listen to AM radio? That's the real question. Because it's the AM radio stations that I was looking at purchasing, which is what if you're going to be a black person trying to amass some sort of communications empire, you start with AM radio to get your message across of whatever you're trying to promote, right? So if you're trying to promote black power, black business, whatever, you need to buy an AM radio so that you can talk on it. They're very cheap to maintain and they don't cost a whole lot of money, hopefully, to run. So you don't need that many advertisers for the station, right? So Bill Cosby was already amassing that. He was going to purchase NBC. They said no. Actually, they didn't say no immediately. They tossed it around, then said no. Then NBC went. They were going bankrupt, basically, right? They were worth almost nothing. Then again, he made another offer. Now, I think this is where they killed his son. Now, of course, he knows that they murdered his son, and the person that they accused and tried was a Russian agent or something like that. But on the day of on the night of the murder, the Russian guy was actually in Mexico, so he had an airtight alibi. But of course, they went ahead with the prosecution and so forth of the Russian. Why Bill Cosby is incapable of hiring a lawyer better equipped to handle such a thing than me. If I were a lawyer, this would not have happened. They would have not have accused some Russian guy who's actually located in Mexico on the night of the murder and proceed with a trial and prosecution, right? It's obviously a hit because they said he was he was robbed and he has $6,000 in his pocket when they find him, which is a very unique number, and it was not 4,000, which is an Illuminati prank trick. This is the execution. So this was not Illuminati based. This was based on some other group. Illuminati kills you and puts $4,000 in your pocket as a sign to other Illuminati that this was a hit, and everybody in on the whole Illuminati thing will go, aha, that guy was killed for our benefit. Let me proceed with whatever they're going to proceed with, right? If they're connected to that person somehow. Everybody will know, but only a few people will directly benefit. This was not an Illuminati hit. This was something else, something completely different. Don't think that just the Illuminati operates in the United States. There's other players on the chessboard, right? $6,000 in his pocket. And get this, the flat tire, impossible because that particular car reinflates the tire even with a flat tire. It has superior technology, and Bill Cosby knew this, so the whole flat tire story was bogus. Now, the entire point of the entire Bill Cosby thing was already accomplished. Oh, did you not know? The trial thing, I think that's all a smokescreen. 50 women coming out and said he did something, which actually turns out to be 11 women who said he did something. All, what is it? 10 of them are discredited, unlike unlike what is Bill Maher saying that they were never discredited. They were in fact discredited. They're in the police report as saying there's nothing to see here. Move on. You have nothing. The DA telling them you have nothing. Then this DA comes along and says, "Oh, I'll try all of this stuff." When the former DA said there's nothing here, there is nothing here. Why this is going to trial is a smoke screen because the only thing that they wanted to accomplish was already accomplished. And what was that? The removal of the Cosby Show from the number one syndicated position. Now, when they set out for war, they didn't bring a shotgun, they brought a nuclear bomb. It destroyed not just Cosby. Did you know that Cosby actually gave a portion of the syndication to almost everybody involved? And on that particular show and all the other shows too, he hired almost 100% black people. He made it a point to do that. And for those of you who says, "Oh, that's racist," no. If that's racist, then all the other shows that have almost nothing but white people on it, down to the girl that fetches the damn coffee, all white. And in fact, we'll come in to your brand new black show and say, your camera operators aren't good enough for the show. We're the producers. We're going to remove all of your black camera operators. Your producers aren't good enough. We're going to remove all of your producers. Your directors aren't good enough. You're going to remove all of your black directors. So even a black production turns into a white production. When they destroyed the Cosby Show, they destroyed the residuals that were being paid out to all of those black people. I believe it was Malcolm Jamal Warner who says, "I was trying to leave a legacy to my children." I believe it was him. I don't know anything about him. But one of them said, "I was trying to leave this as a legacy to my children. Now I have nothing." And for those of you who don't understand how money works, the more money you make, a lot of people, the more expenses you get. So you live in a $20 million home, but you have to pay for that $20 million home and upkeep that $20 million home, right? So if you lose your residuals all of a sudden through no fault of your own, through no fault of anything, you are up a creek, right? In one fell swoop, they destroyed the livelihood of all of those people who were getting a paycheck from the Cosby Show. And I think A Different World, and I think Living Single, all of his productions. That was what they were. Now, why did they want to destroy the Cosby Show, and in particular the Cosby Show? A lot of black people keep saying, "Yeah, that was for us. Yeah, that was," but no, that wasn't for you. 90% of the viewership of the Cosby Show was white. I've had people tell me, "I come from a single parent home from a white woman. I'm white. Cosby was my dad. He was my father. Growing up, I had watched the Cosby Show, how he handled problems. He spoke to me. I felt as if he were my dad." Now, do you think in this society where we look at all data points for every possible thing that they would not know that? Of course they knew that. They understood that the audience was white, not black. In fact, the audience is never black. There is no show on TV where the audience is black. Because I keep telling you all this, there's not enough of you. All of this stuff is blacks do this. There's not enough of you. Not only is there not enough of you, there's not enough of you doing that same thing for you to be enough. 60% of murders are conducted by black people. That is a lie. I want you to tell yourself that is a bald-faced lie. There's not enough black people committing crime, number one. Only 1% of the population, the black community, commits crimes, period. 1%. The entire black population, 1%, right? You got it? And even I don't even think it's 1%. I think it's more like 0.01%, right? So then you have to go from crime. Now you have to divide all of the people doing crime up to get to the people, the black criminals that commit murder. What do you think the percentage of all the people who do crime commit murder? It's probably 0.0001%, because crime, the word, involves everything from taking drugs, dealing drugs, all the way through domestic violence, all of that stuff. Drunk driving, all of that's all crime. Driving without a license, driving without insurance, that's all quote unquote crime, right? That you could potentially go DUI, that you could potentially go to jail for. And all of that, at the bottom of that, is actual murder. There is no possible way that black people are committing so much murder. And for those of you who want to say, oh, but Chicago and Detroit, they have black on black crime, there are more white people committing white on white crime than all of the other ethnic groups combined. Black and black crime is not an issue. Is not an issue. Now, this is why black people need their own radio station, so that we can discuss things like this and actually correct all of this misinformation that black people, black. The only reason you concentrate on black people is because you can tell a black person from a white person. That's the only thing. The audience was white for the Cosby Show. Period. Point blank. Who cares if black people felt good about the show? You weren't the target of the show, you weren't the point of the show, and you were not the audience. The audience was and will always be white, right? And they understood that a positive black role model was heinous to their end goals. Now, I want to point to you to Good Times. Do you remember that show? It was about a black family that were poor, that lived in the quote unquote ghetto, which is a Jewish word, a word that's used for Jews, and a word to used to say where Jews live, not black people. How that became black, I have no idea. The very word is a Jewish word. Ghetto is Jewish. Ghetto is where the Jews live. It had a title, the Jewish Ghetto. There was no such thing as a black ghetto. Never was. Let's get back to Good Times. And they lived in the ghetto and everything. And they kept repeating ghetto, 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 ghetto all throughout the show, right? That's more miseducation. Now, did you know that the actress who played the mother was approached to do the show first? And they said, you will have these children, and these will be your children, and these are the other actors. And she said, I will not do this show unless my children have a father. The director of the show said every single meeting for the show, that they meet for the show to go over the script and all that sort of stuff and what's going to happen, and all of that stuff. Every single meeting for the show, the higher ups would send down a message: get rid of the father. A strong black father is not funny. The show was a comedy, right? It was a sitcom. A black father is not funny. So after how many years, they finally killed him off. But literally, the actress said no from the very beginning. There has to be a father on the show. She cannot be a single mom. That is a stereotype. That is not actually a black thing. Again, not a black thing. And every single meeting, every morning, they had a message saying, kill off the father. So that was resisted for years. I don't know how many seasons it was on. And of course, as soon as they killed off the father, basically the show ended. Who do you think the audience was for that? Ghetto family, in the ghetto, black family, black poor family. And let's point out somebody else on the show who made a very interesting comment. Comedian J.J. Walker said, "You will never, ever see another show where there is a poor black family intact. Will never happen ever again on TV." J.J. Walker, the jokester, the guy who acted like a buffoon on the show, whose catchphrase was "a dynamite." That guy. This is what's going on. They do not want strong black father intact family to be portrayed on TV. So when we come to Cosby, who was much later, right? The Cosby Show, and of course he produced all that. He did that with all of his money. And number one syndicated TV show. Do you understand what number one means? In the world. Most trusted actor, Bill Cosby. Now, of course, all the stupid women around the country, "Oh my God, 50 women. Oh my God, 50 women. You're semi intelligent, right? I want you to go put your coat on or your hat or your sunglasses. You know it's summer now. I want you to go get up, put your shoes on. I want you to go outside of your house and I want you to grab 50 goddamn women and I want you to have them agree on something, anything. I want you to tell them to look up at the sky and tell me what color it is. But wait, no, don't have them all answer at once. I want you to go down the line individually. I guarantee the first one is going to say blue, and the second one is going to say, you know what, it's not really blue. There's hints of orange, and then we're going to go on, huh? I want you to get 50 women to agree on anything. Now, I want to point out to you how they got 50 women to agree on their story that, Bill Cosby is a this, he's a that. 50 women who didn't know each other also. And all of the stories come out very similar. Oh, I was at a party and he touched my boob. Wait. Hold on. You were at a party and he touched your boob. What date, time was this? It was the summer of 63 and I was at the penthouse. No, the Playboy Mansion. Really? Okay. Not only was Cosby not there in the summer of 63, we have him in Washington, D.C. the entire summer, and you were a Playboy bunny, and you got your breasts squozen and touched and prodded and licked by approximately 249 men, none of which was Cosby. Would you like to rescind your statement? No, it was Cosby. Really? And Bill Maher says that none of them were discredited. We have several instances where they said Cosby this, that, and the other, and Cosby wasn't even in the same state, wasn't even on the guest list, wasn't there for months, wasn't discredited. The damage was done because we have a society now where, in fact, if you are accused of something, it is now taken as gospel at the accusation. And they kept saying 50 women, 50 women, 50 women, when in fact it was not 50 women. It was 11 women, which was then dwindled down then to 6 women, which was dwindled down to 1 woman. None of the others had any factual evidence whatsoever. None. Nothing. And the one that they did have didn't have any factual information until such time as the former prosecutor forced Cosby to make a deal with him that he should uh, confess to whatever he was doing, but they were going to seal the case. Which then we have a judge write a book, and he's selling the book, and he unseals the case. Who else? 15 of the women who wrote books and sold the books. I bet you they got the book deals in order to entice them to confess to this stupidity. Not only that, we have several stars that says, nope, that's not how it happened. And the drug of choice is in fact Quaaludes Quaaludes was eating like candy back in those days. And back in those days, that's what we're talking about. And we have stupid women like Robin from the Howard Stern show going, he confessed to giving them drugs. He confessed to giving them drugs. No. He said the woman wanted the drugs and said, can I get the drugs? And he says, sure, I can go get you the drugs. You want the drugs? I'll go get them for you. Just like a woman says, will you buy me a drink? Wait a minute. Does Quaaludes knock you out? No, I already researched this. You can go on Wikipedia, WebMD, what have you. Quaaludes doesn't knock you out. So what was the drug that they were talking about that knocked them out? Knocked them out, knocked them out. It wasn't Quaaludes. For those of you who have no idea what Quaaludes was, it was a drug of choice of partygoers. It would keep you up all night, and it was an aphrodisiac. So these women were asking Cosby to go procure them an aphrodisiac. Why? Because that was the drug of choice back in the day. What's the drug of choice now? What was it? Speed or crystal meth? What do party? What do party goers use now? Tina? What do you call it? It did not knock you out. 50 women said, "Oh, he did this and that and the other," or the 11 women said he knocked me out and I woke up and he was on top of me. Okay, if that's the case, then you didn't wake up because you know what? The huge side effect of Quaaludes is if it knocks you out, you go into a coma. It was pulled from the market in the early 70s. So now let's then take a look at all of these women confessing later on to him doing something to them and knocking them out. Well, it wasn't Quaaludes because it wasn't around. It wasn't Quaaludes. Oh, they said it was a herbal medication. What herb knocks you out? Knocks you out. What herb knocks you out? Chamomile doesn't knock you out. It relaxes you. Doesn't relax me. The women were and are lying. They're liars. People have already said it. Lawyers have said it. And there's no truth in any of their stuff. Now, the one case that they're going on, the woman turns out to be a lesbian. Now, how is it possible that this woman is approached by Bill Cosby and she doesn't go, not interested. I played for the wrong team. Blah, God, go away from me. She's a lesbian. Do you see how ridiculous this case is? He did something to her. This is what it was all about, to besmirch his name. The accusation was enough to accomplish what they wanted to accomplish. To take out the number one syndicated TV show around the world. They were all making millions off of that show, going to black people about a strong black father in an intact family. Jimmy Walker said Good Times will never, ever be redone in any other sort of format in some other show, some brand new show. What is her name? Esther Williams? Is that the mother? She said, I put my career on the line to make sure that the TV show had a strong black father on the show. And the director said they came every meeting. Get rid of the father. Kill him off. On a sitcom, kill off the father. On something that is not supposed to have anybody dying. It's a sitcom. Friends is a sitcom, or was a sitcom. Anybody die on there? It's Always Sunny in Nova Scotia. What's the name of that show? Anybody die on there? Sitcom. Anybody die on there? Big Bang Theory. Sitcom. Anybody die on there? But on Good Times, the father had to die. This is what it's all about. And it's not about black people. It's about white people. Thank you for watching.